What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to our today's vlog. My good name is Margaret Ndave KA. Today I want us to focus on a very interesting topic. But before we get to that point, if you have not subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button such that anytime I'll be uploading a new video, you will be among the very first person to get my content. Today I want us to focus on 4 most dangerous things that once you join them, it's very hard to quit. Some of these things exploit even our resources. In other words, I would call them cults, because cults are some of the things that you join easily, but they are very hard to leave. Some of them lead to disorders, they lead to madness, and to some extent, they might lead even to suicide. So guys, take very good care, because they are the things that surround us, that are affecting our brothers, that are affecting our sisters, which we should be very cautious about. Number 1 is religion. Nowadays we have so many different religions. There have been so many churches, different churches, which come in the name of preaching gospel, in the name of exploiting people's resources. There is a recent case which have occurred in Shakahola, whereby people have been put in mind that it is the coming of Jesus Christ and blah blah blah. So you find people tend to believe it's the end times, while in real sense it's a lie, but these guys have been made to believe. Some of these people end up selling their resources and giving them to the religious people who are leading them in the name of it is the end times and it's about to go. So guys, before you join any religion, before you join any church, you should be very cautious about that particular church. It's good even to do your own research, especially when it comes to the leader. If it is the pastor of that church, make sure you do a good research. Is this church registered? Is that particular priest educated? Has he done theology? Those are some of the things that we should always consider. Again, once you join a certain church, try to look at realistic decisions which are being made in that church. So if you find a certain church or a certain religion is becoming over-exploiting, it's on a high time you quit, or you join another church. So guys, religion is one of the most dangerous things that you may join, and it may result to something else in the name of salvation. Number 2 is sports. This one has affected most of our youths, because we call it gambling. We have so many companies which have come up with gambling. It is all over, it is in our TV stations. So, and one thing with gambling is it starts small. You'll start with 10 bob today, tomorrow you'll do with 20 bob, the day after tomorrow you go for 100, and it becomes addictive. Slowly by slowly. So once it becomes addictive, you find yourself that in a day you are gambling like 4 times with like 500 shillings. It becomes addictive in that some guys even take the whole of their salaries and they put it in gambling. So gambling is one of the most dangerous things that you should join. I remember I see those gambling sites, they say that this one is not for a person under the age of 18. But true, unfortunately, this one is affecting even those people who are over 18 years. So it's wise not to gamble, and if you'll be gambling, make sure you do that in a very, very, very wise way. The other one is politics. Politics comes with its own ups and downs, because once you join politics, if you succeed, on the good hand, maybe you get good salaries, but it's over exploiting when it comes to the campaign seasons. I've seen cases whereby people who want to be leaders in this politics, you get someone is even selling his own piece of land just to do campaigns. So you'll find that at the end of the day, the family of this particular guy or a lady ends up renting. They end up homeless just because of politics. Then maybe unfortunately this guy don't get that seat. So what happens? That guy goes in a denial. He's denying the fact that he didn't make it to get to that position. So it becomes over-exploiting, and what happens to this person? He gets to a state of depression. So yes, it's good to join politics, but the thing is, be wise on how you join these politics. Do politics in a good way, in a wise way. It's always wise to do politics or campaigns without necessarily involving money, because at the end of the day, if you lose the seat, it might become a bit unfriendly for you, or else it might be even depressive. Then the last thing I also want us to consider is drugs. Drugs is something that it starts very little, again, inaanza pole pole, but once you join it, it becomes very, very, very dangerous. Most of those people who do drugs, they start with small things. Like in the case of bang, I hear them calling them rolls. So you'll be told, just do a puff. Then tomorrow you do it again and again. Then at the end of the day, you become an addict, in that you cannot do without that bang. The other thing that is also being abused so much is tobacco. So it starts with a sniff, then you do it repeatedly, then it becomes addictive, in that you can't even sleep without taking that tobacco. The other one is what we call miraa. So you find a person chewing, unapata the cheek imejaa, and I enjoy the chewing, but it comes with drowsiness. Unakosa hata usingizi. You can even do without a sleep for over 48 hours just because of that. So those are very, very simple things as they may look, but then at the end of the day, they might become exploiting. So, and we have the dangers of these cults, because I call them cults. The four of them: religion, politics, drugs, and the other one is sports or gambling. So once you get addicted, or you find yourself deep into these things, what happens? You get into a state of depression, or else what starts is anxiety, because it comes with a lot of expectations that when I place these 500 shillings, I will win 1 million Kenyan shilling or 1 million US dollars. And once you get that, you tend to think that you'll be able to do better things. But I would say that it's better the little you have than even thinking that you'll get something big, and by the end of the day, you find yourself losing everything. So what happens? You become anxious at first, because there was a lot of expectation in yourself. So what happens when you lose? Because of that anxiety, you get into a state of depression. So depression gets into you slowly by slowly, and you find that some of us, or most of us who get depressed, they tend to get to keep quiet. So you find a certain person, he is so much into drugs, but deep inside that person is very highly depressed. So what happens? After all the resources have been exploited, what happens is you get into a state of denial. You can't believe that you lost everything. You lost your land, all the money that you had, if it is salary. Others go to an extent of borrowing just to gamble. So you get into a state of denial. How nitapeana pesa wenyewe, because maybe ulichukua pesa ya chama ukatumia kufanya nini? Kugambo in the name of nitapata nirudishe pale. So you get into a state of denial. So once you get into a state of denial and you are already depressed, what happens is you cannot be able to face your family, you cannot be able to face your friends, you cannot face those people who gave you loan. So what comes into your mind is suicide. What comes into your mind is suicide. So at the end of the day, you find someone takes poison, or else unapata mtu anajinyonga just because of some of those very simple things which you could take charge of and you could not get addicted. So guys, in everything we do, please be very cautious about these 4 things, which are very simple to join but very hard to leave, which leads to a loss of life, it leads to depression, it leads to self-denial, all those things. Number 1 is religion. Number 2 is gambling, which we call sports. Number 3 is what we call politics. And finally, number 4, we have the drugs. So guys, I hope you'll find this video helpful. Until next time, for now, it's a bye-bye.